Mark Griffin. I'm president and principal in charge of Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates, Griffin Partners in beautiful Greenville, South Carolina. We are general commercial real estate brokers and investment sales advisors for clients all over the state of South Carolina. We primarily, though, focus in the upstate of South Carolina. If you're not familiar with the upstate of South Carolina is, or Greenville in general, we're actually located between Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, along the I-85 corridor. This strategic placement of Greenville, South Carolina, allows a lot of growth in the industrial and really office markets, and puts us on the forefront of being a secondary, rising tertiary retail market in the Southeast. We're known for our beautiful downtown, and it's been ranked one of the top 10 urban downtowns in America, and currently Greenville is ranked fourth as of last year as the fourth fastest growing city according to Bloomberg. Today that we're going to focus on is individuals that want to invest in commercial real estate that may have invested in the stock market in the past and have heard about commercial real estate, but maybe have not had the ability or the knowledge to invest in commercial real estate. So today is focused primarily for new investors that are new to commercial real estate and want some tips and tricks on how to approach investments in commercial real estate and how to make sure they're paying the right price for a piece of commercial property and how to analyze the pricing of a commercial property. So generally, we have there's really two categories rather for commercial real estate buyers. You've got private buyers and you've got institutional buyers. Private buyers include private individuals, private real estate funds, syndicated, those are partnerships. Institutional buyers include banks, pension funds, public REITs, mutual funds and hedge funds, and insurance companies. And of course there's variations of both, and sometimes these can commingle together. For instance, a syndicated partnership could actually be a private fund, and also individuals can also pool their money together and essentially creating a private fund for commercial real estate. So there's a mixture in there, but for journalistic sake, for today's conversation, you've got private and institutional investors. Today we're going to be obviously focusing on private investors, and that's the individual or a couple of individuals looking to diversify their portfolio in commercial real estate. All right, let's move on to types of commercial real estate investments. So private commercial real estate investments generally, not always, but generally include $5 million assets and under. They're typically local or regional in nature. Private buyers don't tend to fluctuate in other markets they don't have knowledge of or can't put their hands on. So private investors tend to buy regionally or locally. Most of the time, private investors choose a product type. For instance, they may be an attorney and they know all about leasing office buildings and they've been drawn to that, or maybe they've consulted in drawing up leases for clients, and so sometimes they naturally gravitate toward office properties, particularly if they own their own office building or they've done some leasing advisory services for office leasing. But generally, private investors choose a product type, and they tend to stick with that type. And of course, there's no rule of thumb to that as well. Some investors do diversify, but most private investors stick to retail, office, industrial, or single tenant retail, to name a few. So the basic term for today is cap rate, or capitalization rate. I know most people have heard of that. This could be very elementary for advanced investors, but again, this is geared toward people that have never invested in commercial real estate, and just gives them a rule of thumb on how to price a piece of commercial property. So whenever you hear commercial brokers talk about cap rate, we're talking about basically a general return on your investment, and there's way deeper analytics that go involved as commercial brokers when you look at a piece of commercial real estate. There's internal rate of returns, there's cash on cash returns. But today, for today's topic, for simplicity's sake, we're just talking about cap rate, which essentially, not taking into account debt service, would be your return on your investment generally. So how do you get to a cap rate? Well, basically it's the net operating income, or the net income that comes out of an asset, divided by the value of the property or the asking price, purchase price of the property. So when you start looking at investment property and commercial real estate, you take that net operating income and you divide it by basically the ask price or the price you would like to pay. But you generally start with the ask price, and if it doesn't meet your threshold of investment, in other words, if it comes out to a 6% cap rate, and your threshold or your idea of return on investment or your criteria for return on investment is 8%, then you know a couple things need to happen. You need to find another property, or the purchase price has to be adjusted. So what does that look like? Let's say we're going to take $1 million piece of property. The net operating income is $100,000. So $1 million, the net operating income, so the listing broker says, is $100,000. All else being equal, you take the $100,000 net operating income, you divide it by the $1 million ask price, and that gives you a 10% cap rate. The next topic in our discussion here in the next video will be, how do we get to NOI, or what is NOI? Net operating income is sometimes at the eyes of the investor, or the eyes of the buyer. The NOI is broken down in many different ways. There's general categories for how net operating income is broken down. But when you start to talk about net operating income, you start to come up with a capitalization rate. Once you get a capitalization rate that matches your investment threshold or return on investment criteria, then you actually start double checking the net operating income that they're claiming for the property. And a lot of times you have to go back and recast those net operating incomes or add things in there that are not included in the investment package that you may have. So tune in next time. I encourage you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, we're Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates, Griffin Partners, located in Greenville, South Carolina. If you have any commercial real estate needs for us, or we can conduct an analysis for your property, give us a call, 864-315-3734. Visit us online at griffinpartnerssc.com. Once again, Sperry Commercial Global Affiliates, Griffin Partners, local reach on a global scale. Thank you so much.